and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue and let you stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to The Perfect Match. It feels like it's been a lifetime since we've done a live on this channel, but we're back. We're back with more bad news for Spurs, but regardless of that, we're here. We will discuss everything that went on the weekend, the debacle we sat through yesterday, Arsenal bottling a 2-0 lead, Liverpool leaving it late to retain their position at the top of the table, Nottingham Forest winning again to be joint second. Oh, so much to talk about. But I'm joined today, as always, by Jimbo, my co-host and husband, and also Mr. Chang. Jimbo, first of all, how are you doing today?
Yeah, good. Bit blocked up with hay fever, whatever it is. But yeah, apart from that, all right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Still in shock that we haven't woken up to some news, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, I've got the news on. I'm just waiting for it to come through.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. But Mr. Chang, how are you diddling?
Still somewhat in bewilderment and shock after our pre-match pump-up some 20 hours ago before kickoff, and how I even managed to get any sort of sleep in this surrounding of mine after that match is a bit of a shock to me in itself. But I mean, we move on. That's the only way I can spin it. That's the only way forward I have for myself, and hopefully none of us Spurs fans would take that defeat too much to heart. But plenty to talk about, plenty to discuss. And without further ado, as always, back to you, Miss Kate.
Thank you, Mr. Chang. Look, I don't actually know what I was going to say there. I was going to say something, but it's gone out of my brain. So I'm going to go straight to the chat and see who's here. And I'm sure it will come flying back to me in a minute. Big Up Shemtan says, morning, Princess Kate, Sir Jimbo, Mr. Royale Sr., who may be joining us later. And the youngest looking old man, Mr. Chimichanga Chang. Hope you are all well today after that crap yesterday. Well, everyone was clambering for Ant to change, but we wanted to change when he had all his players, not when 8 first teamers are out. He changed and we got killed, just like when we were yelling for Stellini to change to back 4 after Conte and we got thrashed. Be careful what you wish for. All I wanted was to stop inverting, but he changed everything. Back 3 with only 1 fit centre back was suicide. Yeah, I can't argue with anything you've said there. Good morning, afternoon to you, Fiona. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Mr. Nick Fadley, good to see you. Phil P, without a woo, but with an today. Big up, Mr. P. I don't think you can be Ange in after yesterday. That's what I was going to say. There is a poll running in the chat, Ange in, Ange out. Very surprised to see that there's 25% who are still Ange in, and I'd love to know what it's going to take for them to be Ange out. But we shall see. Big up, Benji. Hope you're well, my love. It is another day in Spurs paradise. Angus is here saying 15th again. Ollie, Ollie, Ollie. 15th, second. You don't win anything for either. So, you know, and at least we didn't go 2-0 up and then crumble. Good afternoon to you, Paige. How are you, my lovely? Good to see you. Yusuf says, back to a 6-point gap between us and Arsenal. Get in. Yes, come on, Liverpool. Make sure you win that title. Big up, Kate, Jimbo, and the Bottom crew. Big up to get that stinking fraud Arteta out of my club. I love that name. Get out of my club. Phil says, are Spurs and Woolwich just great neighbours who always try to cheer the other one up when they are down? Well, Jim and I were talking about this the other day, saying when you listen to Arsenal fans talk, it's hard to differentiate between Arsenal and Spurs. We all moan about the board. We all moan about we don't invest enough. We all moan that we're nearly men. There's very, very similar views between Arsenal and Tottenham. So I think maybe North London is cursed. Angus, you've got far too many injuries, but you never know. We never do things easily. RIP Spurs. There used to be a football club over there. Indeed, Mr. P. Big up to you, Paul G. I hope you are well. And also thank you for being a member for 10 months. Bless you. There will be that draw on Valentine's Day for the Ben Tanker signed picture for anyone who's a member and anyone who does a super chat between now and then as well. Afternoon, Mike Pepper. Good to see you. Good afternoon, Mario says, afternoon, guys. Ali Gold has confirmed Tottenham remain intent on trying to help Postecoglou rather than removing him from his post. It's a disgrace. They want us relegated. Wow. There we go. Good morning, all. Kate, did I hear you on TalkSport? Nitrate, yes, you did. I was very angry and busting for a wee when I got through. So it was a bit of Angus spiel came out. But yes, that was me. Angus, I thought you might be Angie, and much like Arteta in. Hello all, big up Kate, Jim and Chang, big up Harmless Potato. Ange out, says Nick. Sea Eagles said, Kate, you picked the result. I did. I got lots of stick for it as well, but I just knew we wouldn't win that game. I just knew. Afternoon as well to you. I'm Angie because changing the manager changes nothing, says Yogi Bear. Interesting. Angie Levy in says, get that stinking fraud out of my club. Angie in, Ange out. Unless the ownership changes, I'm afraid that this is Spurs. I agree, but it was, what, 6 years ago, I think, that we were, or nearly 7 years ago, we were in a Champions League final. I do think that Ange Postecoglou has come to the end of his road, I've got to say. We went from nearly men to nearly relegated men. Yep, exactly that. Big up Joey Barton says, changing the manager changes nothing. Sorry, one of the worst points of view ever. No, Kate, gone 2-0 up, then lose 3-2. That's the difference. This briefing this morning, Tottenham Hotspur remain intent on trying to help Ange rather than removing him. I don't even know what to say to that. Big up Smithster says, Angus, I've just seen breaking news that Arsenal players have been banned from owning dogs as they're incapable of holding on to a lead. Big up Smithy. Good afternoon, Carl Simpson. Good to see you. Thomasin is here. Good to see you as well. You guys need to get rid of your manager. He's clueless. We're going to get onto that in a minute. Hi, Kate, Jim, and everyone in the chat. I'm Angie, because changing manager changes nothing. Look at the managers that came before him. It's Levy who is the problem. Always has been the tight git. Ange out, sadly, way out of his depth. Zidane's available, and afternoon Drulala. Jimbo, I'm going to ask you the first question. Are you Ange in? Are you Ange out?
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is your sticker for the show is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Is it the good, the bad, and the bottlers?
That's it.
So Chang must be the good. You must be the bad, and I must be the bottler.
Why am I the bad?
I don't know. Well, you can be the bottler if you want.
I think I'm the bad and you're the bottler because
Well,
you
we'll
just.
put Nick as the bottler because he just falls over when he plays Squid Games.
Anyway, Jimbo, are you Ange in or Ange out?
I don't think it really matters, Kate, because look, if we look at it right, the problem is bigger than Ange. It's I don't think the players are good enough, right? I just don't think that we've got superstars in our team. We've just got some good players, but no superstars, and we've got some average players. I think Ange is just too stubborn, won't adapt, and when he does adapt, it's just wrong. I think he is out of his depth in the Premiership. You know, I watched the first half of yesterday, and I had no clue where anyone was playing apart from the keeper. Right, every time I looked, someone was in a different position. It was just a shambles. And Levy, he's never all in. He's half and half, you know, and he has spent a lot of money in the last like 18 months, 2 years with Ange, but whoever's doing the recruitment, that's a massive part of it. Is not good. So I don't think it's just Ange. I'm not going to sit here and just blame everything on Ange. I think it's an accumulation of things to do with the club. I think the whole club is in a shambles. It's not in a shambles of making money, right? Because it's an entertainment. But actually, as a football club, I think the whole. I've got my puppies biting my hand to smithereens here. I think the whole club is in a shambles on the football side, and it's just I think it's wrong just to blame Ange, right? Even though I don't think that he's the right guy now after watching what's been going on, but I'm not going to say it's all Ange's fault because it's not. I think a massive, massive part is the recruitment. Another big part is the medical team, right? It's all just building up. That's what it's building up to, you know. And for me, Levy never seems to be full in on the football side. He's half and half. You know, he wants us to do well, right? But he's never 100% in. And right, I'm going to back this manager 100%. He just never does it. So I think it's just an accumulation of things. I think the whole club at the minute, apart from the entertainment side, is in a mess. I really do. I
So
mean,
in a
look,
roundabout,
can I just say, if we're honest, right, and if you're Ange, look, I like Ange, right? I'm not going to say I don't like him. I do like him. I like him as a person, and I love some of his football when it works, right? But if we're totally honest, Ange should have been sacked. Not yesterday. He should have been sacked a few weeks ago, you know. And if it had been a different manager, he would have been.
but Jimbo, you're still not really answering the question. Look at Tottenham have gained 1 point from a possible 18 in their last 6 Premier League games. Currently 15 in the league. Whether you think sacking the manager would do anything or not, I'm sorry, but our squad is not a 15th place team.
No,
and he's not getting the best out of this team.
Look, we need a manager, Kate. We need a manager that can come in and organise this shambles that's happening, right? But I still think if you let's say you bring a manager in that's experienced. Let's say the Bournemouth manager, right? He's doing really well. He seems to know what he's doing. He adapts to different games, right? But I think he's going to end up in the same position in a year's time. I don't think that we maybe get up to maybe top 4, top 6, but are we ever going to be that elite team under what's happening at the club?
It all sounds a little bit like you're making excuses for Ange.
Well, I'm not making excuses for who?
Ange.
No, I'm not making excuses for him. I just said I think we need to change a manager, but it's not. If you've got to look at the club over the last few years, it's the same thing. Just again, it's rinse and repeat. You know, I mean, let's say he would have bought Ange the best players he needs for his system. Maybe we would have done well, but that's never going to happen. So why is he keeping him? He's never going to give him the players that he needs for this system, is he?
No, I mean, Chang, what's your view? Chang looks like he's ready to cry. How are you seating on Ange in or Ange out? I know it's a poxy question, but I've got to ask it.
I mean, at this stage, you just have to ask yourself one of two questions: is this the right time to get rid of him? And if so, whom do we have lined up to replace him? These are the only two questions that matter to me, whether I'm Ange in or Ange out. Regardless of what I think, whether it's Ange out or Ange in, or Ange till the end of the season, or Ange till we are really, in the relegation zone itself, I think the only question that needs answering is whom do we have lined up to replace him if it is going to be Ange out? Because I think that things could get a lot worse for us the moment we get rid of Ange. That second half, as painful as it was in that first half, that second half was maybe the only silver lining, in the sense that the players are still playing for him. Yes, I think that the injuries and the recruitment, everything all bundled up, it all boils down to everything that we've been seeing. Not even this calendar year, but towards the latter stages of last year. And if you look at that, table, or not a table, the list that we have there, you look at those 6 games. How many of those teams are inside the top 5 or the top 6? The Liverpools, the Arsenals, the Forest, and how many of them are fighting relegation? The Wolverhampton Wanderers and the Evertons, and how many of them are just changed managers? So this tells me that everything that could possibly go wrong for us just went tits up. I apologize for the cussing, but yeah, it is difficult really to really put into context everything that has been really going against us for as long as I can remember. But I will say this for the umpteenth time this season. That loss, however painful it was just another league loss by that single goal margin. I have no idea. I really cannot explain it. As an engineer, as a very scientific or as a very mathematical guy, I simply cannot work out how we always end up to just losing by that odd goal, the 1 goal margin. It's bonkers and almost so scripted to the point where I'm just feeling that this is some sort of matrix that we're living in. But back to Ange in or out, I mean, until we can get someone to properly replace him and bring us forward, unfortunately, we're going to be stuck with him. That is the cold, harsh truth we have to live with. That is, I think, the only thing that we have going for us is the Cups, because honestly, without the Cups, I think he would have been gone a long time. The Cups is the only thing that is actually saving him from his, removal from his post. But otherwise, let's just hope that things will turn up for the better. Although after watching yesterday, I can't see where we go. I mean, before the match, we were already sweating on Solanke. And then during the match, we then lose Dragushin to concussion. I mean, just when will it ever end? When does this downward spiral of us ever end? I mean, I'm struggling even to find the words for myself. But I mean, let's just really hope and pray that we get some players back. Let's just really hope that Levy throws the checkbook out and back Ange with players, because otherwise we are doomed, Miss Kate. We simply are doomed.
There is a counter argument of that, Chang, where I don't want Levy to buy players for Ange if the chances are he's going to get sacked, because then the new manager could come in and say, look, I don't want this guy, I don't want that guy. However, I think Levy could be looking at loan moves for players. We clearly need reinforcements. So he could be exploring loans. I don't know if he is. It's all very quiet and there's not that long left of the window. But I don't particularly want him buying for Ange. We've already bought loads of players that are meant to be for Ange's system, and we're sitting in 15th. So I don't want to do that. What worries me now is I watched that yesterday and I was like, that's it. There's no coming back from that for me. Everyone's got a breaking point, and that was mine. But even if we win the Carabao Cup, or even if we win the Europa League, I don't want Ange here next year. But if we win the Europa League or a League Cup, that saves his job, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, Jimbo.
Well, I think there's, as I said just a minute ago, Kate, there's more at the club wrong than just Ange, right? How come we got so many injuries? I've never known Tottenham to have so
Because of
many injuries.
Ange.
Yeah, but is it because of Ange, or is it that the medical team are not doing their job properly? You
Well,
can't
I read an
you can't blame every single medical problem on Ange.
I'm not
right?
blaming every medical problem on Ange, but I read an article yesterday from December 21 at Celtic, and it was the players dropping like flies with hamstrings, and they were all talking about the fact that it's Ange's training and Ange's system that literally works these players into the ground. So I'm not saying that every injury is what I said to Jacob yesterday. I'm not suggesting every injury is down to Ange, but this is the first time we've had this unprecedented number of injuries. And this is the first time we've had a manager that plays this way. It all seems a little bit too coincidental for me.
Look, they run on the pitch, right? For 45 minutes, have a break, 45 minutes, right? They're meant to be elite athletes. They should be able to do that, Kate. You've got guys running out there running marathons one after the other. You know, I can't have it that all the injuries are on Ange. I think the medical team are obviously not good at what they do as well. You know, I can't have it that all the medical problems are because of the manager. I mean, I think that's just crap. I'm not saying that some of them ain't right, but it's you can't do that. It can't be all his fault. There's more wrong than Ange at this club, right?
Yeah,
And it's all coming out on top now. You know.
I agree. I agree there's more than Ange, but Ange is dreadful. That performance yesterday was absolutely dreadful. I
Yeah,
can't
well,
find a single good thing to say except Mikey Moore came on. I thought he was quite good, and I thought Richie made a difference when he come on. And Kulu's goal was a beautiful finish, but generally it was
well,
absolutely dreadful. It looked totally disorganised.
what was Angus referring to there?
The Celtic issues at Celtic
Oh,
with
all
the
right.
injuries. Same injuries happened under Poch and Iriola, but they didn't use it as an excuse and lose that many games. Klopp too. Honestly, who do I bring in to replace Ange? You know what? Inick and Levy are both like. Well, Iriola's favourite to come in. No. So we could get relegated and win a cup and then stay. That's what I think. I don't think we'll get
Look,
relegated. I've got to
we
put it
won't
out.
get relegated, but the reason being is because there's worse teams than us in this league, and we will pick up more points. There's no argument about it. I can't. I'm not even thinking of relegation. Right? If we, it just won't happen. I can't see it happening because of the teams. Some of the teams below us are just ridiculously bad. But look, it's everybody is focusing on Ange, right? And I'm not saying that he doesn't need to be changed, but you're going to bring in another manager, and there's still going to be problems at this club, right? What Levy needs to do is he needs to sit back and have a good look at himself and at the club, what's going on at the club. If he's serious about wanting this club to do well, he needs to sit back and look at himself in the mirror and say, "What am I doing wrong, and what's going wrong with this club?" Because it's more than just the manager. Because we've seen it with other managers, Kate. You know, I mean, look at Nuno, right? He never even got a chance at this club, and look what he's doing now. You know, some of the fan base was screaming for him to be sacked, and Levy just sacked him. And look what he's proved he can do.
Jimbo, just quickly, have you got the door open down there?
It's open a crack.
Yeah, I can hear it's echoing in my brain.
All right.
I hear what you're saying. I do hear it. But as Binny says here, are you all really okay risking the entire club's reputation and all for one man and sack him already? I mean, Chang, I get what Jim's saying. I know it isn't just on Ange. It's on Levy. It's on the players as well. They've got to take some accountability. But Levy is not going anywhere. Why would he go anywhere? So what do? We sit back and go, oh, well, it's not all on Ange. Let's keep him. I mean, for me, he has to go now.
I'm not saying keep him. What I'm saying is, right, it's not going to solve the problems at this club by sacking him, right?
Not all the problems,
Not
but it
all
will
the
stop us
problems,
being
no.
in the relegation zone
It's not
if
going
we
to
get
solve
someone
all the
better.
problems, right? But this club needs to come. Someone needs to sit down and sort this club out. You know, when you're talking about the injuries, They're putting adverts in for medical staff. What's that? Tottenham Hotspur are putting adverts in for medical staff. They shouldn't need to do that. I mean, it's just the club's in a shambles at the minute.
Chang, sorry. I was asking Chang that question, Jimbo, but you jumped
Yeah.
in.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's perfectly fine because this all goes back to what I said at the beginning of the show. One of my very first things that I said on today's show is, where do we go from here as a club if we do sack Ange? I mean, what guarantee do we have that things will get better and not worse the moment we sack Ange? From what I saw in the second half, the players were still very much playing for him. They were running, they were chasing, they were trying their best to find, a way back into it. Even Richarlison, back at his old stomping ground, he was trying to fly into headers, trying to get onto end of crosses. He was rusty, but I was glad he did manage to find something towards the latter stages, if it only just papers over the cracks. But otherwise, I mean, honestly, if you have to get rid of the manager as a last resort, be very careful what you wish for, because things could always get a whole lot worse, especially when the players themselves go on a mutiny and we are left with players who couldn't care less, or they couldn't even be bothered to turn up. And not only that, we would then put it out there in a transfer market that we are not the kind of club that will attract players, to come to a club where fans can have a right go at them if they are having a bad day in the office. So I mean, a lot worse could happen to us, but I get where you're coming from. I mean, if you ask me, if I were a neutral, I would say this manager is out of his depth. But at the same time, also, the injuries, the suspensions, and even the recruitment have not done him any justice, which is why I just go back to that same old question I asked: where do we go from here if we do sack Ange? Unless we have some sort of a guarantee that the new manager will have the full backing of the club, the owners, and I must add here, the players and us fans. Until that happens, I'm sorry to say that sacking Ange might actually be the one catalyst, or rather, it might be the one thing that actually helps us go into a free fall spiral from where there is no return. And I think I'm deep down inside, I think I did say this a few months ago. Sacking Ange now is the one last straw that will actually unite both the Ange inners and the Ange outers together to come up and rise up against Enoch and Daniel Levy. That has always been my suspicion all along. Sacking Ange is the one thing that Daniel Levy and the board of directors don't want, because it might be the one thing that will finally unite all of the Spurs fans together. So again, it's so many different moving parts, Miss Kate. But if we do have a better manager lineup, as what Mr. Benjamin Kaufman alluded to earlier, Allegri, Massimiliano Allegri, then I'm all for it. But until then, unfortunately, we'll just be back to square one, as what Mr. Boxall mentioned earlier, the rinse repeat vicious cycle that we find ourselves perpetually stuck in.
I mean, Chang, Smithy says, are you all right? It looks like Tottenham have absolutely broken you, mate.
To answer that, Mr. Smithy, I'm still okay. I'm still hanging in here. I've been in this office for a good 24 hours since I checked in here to do the stream 24 hours earlier at noon for the We Are Tottenham TV watch along. And I really am looking forward to get some rest when this stream is done, although it might be a lot closer to 4 p.m. UK time, or otherwise it will be midnight because of something which I will announce later, which I have lined up for me from between 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. UK time. But until then, stay tuned, everyone.
Oh, exciting. Chang, you're not pregnant, are you?
I'm not a seahorse. Thank you for asking.
Big up James Flower, big up Paddy Hartnett as well. I agree with Jim and Chang. They should have sacked him earlier. Apparently, Allegri's off to the Saudi League. Yeah, exactly. Injuries. Bournemouth have got 9 players out, and they absolutely smashed Newcastle yesterday.
And it is exactly right. I said to you yesterday when I saw that team, Kate, that team should beat Everton if they're organised properly. It's a better team, And it's just the first half yesterday was an absolute shambles.
Yeah, I agree. Paul Robinson said yesterday, I think it was on Match of the Day or something, you've got 2 solutions. You either sack the manager or you stick with him and the principles that he's got. Wait for players to come back and give him some more players in Jan. I like Postecoglou and I like the way that he talks, but there's another part of me that thinks he's very stubborn. Every Tottenham fan can see the way that the team's losing games. Look, we've accused him of being stubborn, Jimbo, but he changed it yesterday. But my God, what a cock up it was, because I didn't know if Gray was playing midfield, if he was playing defence. And that's just one example. It just looked like someone had vomited all over the pitch and a million players had just fallen out and just landed wherever they were. Is it too little too late? Do you think he was changing because we've got so many injuries? What's your thoughts on that?
He made a massive mistake yesterday, a huge mistake. And I wouldn't think there's not one Tottenham fan that never saw it, right? He should have played Reguilon, right? And he should have played Spence at right back, Reguilon at left back. And he should have had Porro off the pitch ready for the midweek game. I mean, I don't think I've watched anyone on YouTube not say it, right? And I've seen people in chats writing it. And why didn't he do that? Why? Why did he insist on playing Porro? Porro needed a break. And it's like you can see Porro's he's down and out. It's not like it used to be, Kate, back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, right? You didn't play as many games. They're playing game after game after game now, right? Most teams are playing 3 games a week. And they can't sustain it. It's too much with the training. It's just too much. So why did he play that? Why didn't he do it? Porro, Reguilon, and Spence can't play in Europe.
I know.
It just doesn't make sense. What's going through his head? I don't know. And maybe it's his stubbornness. Maybe he doesn't like Reguilon or whatever. I don't know. But he can't. He's got to think of the team. Right, he's got to think of the players' welfare, and he's got to think of the team, and think of what the fans are going through as well, watching this.
But Jim, don't you think I agree 1,000,000% with what you said? We spoke about it. The 3 of us all spoke about it yesterday on the pre-match build-up. But don't you think that decisions like that make his job untenable?
Well, it makes him to me look like he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, I think he does know what he's doing, Kate, to a certain extent, because he's been a manager for a long time, right? And he's been successful where he's been. But why is he? Why can't he see that? It must be something in him that he's fell out with Reguilon, or I don't know. I don't know what it is. But that to me was the right thing to do. You got a natural left back, you got a natural right back. Porro needs a rest, and yet he doesn't do it. He moves everybody around. I don't get it, Kate. I don't, honestly. It's frustrating to watch. I watched that first half yesterday, right? And at half time, I did my fan cam. And I did it because I was so frustrated, right? I weren't going to wait till the end of the game, because I said to you, after watching that first half, if we end up winning 4-3, I don't really care.
Yeah. Winketic says, Jimmy, you Angie or out?
I don't want to answer Angie or Angie out, right? I don't. It's not me to do that. I don't. If they change him, I'll be happy. If they keep him, I'll back him, right? But if I had to choose, would I change him now, right? If they could find the right person, yes, but not Mason. But if they've got a plan in place, yes, change him.
I actually think I'd rather Mason right now than Ange Postecoglou, because I think Ange is a disaster. I was going to ask you, Chang, Gray's been probably one of our best players this season. I think he's been excellent of late, particularly. He looked lost yesterday. I mean, he scored an own goal, bless him, but he nearly caused other goals. I think he was all over the place. what I mean, I couldn't even speak when the when the lineup come out. I was so baffled by it, but it literally seemed like nobody knew where they were supposed to be. Did you think that when you watched it?
Okay, I'm going to have to say this now because I didn't want to sort of be a downer myself yesterday on the pre-match pump up. But the one thing I thought was even more glaring. I did say that having Bergvall and Madison on at the same time without Johnson or Werner as the white players was glaring, as was deploying Archie Gray in a defensive midfield role, if that even was his role. But the one thing that stood out even more than say Spence or Porro or any of our other players was Ben Davis. Of all the games, when you know that this is a 6-pointer, why would you bring back Ben Davis to form that centre back partnership with Dragushin when you've already had 2 clean sheets in the last 3 competitive matches? I mean, don't get me wrong, Tamworth, we were lucky to get a clean sheet. Liverpool, I think we were lucky as well. And the game against Arsenal, I think we were very hard done by the corner that never was, and also Bissouma giving the ball away. But rushing Ben Davies back, you could see that the defense, the centre back pairing was in a complete shambles. I mean, there was absolutely no sort of understanding or even sort of synchronity between Dragushin and Davis. And if you look back at that first goal, they were sort of like getting in each other's way. I wasn't even sure who was supposed to be tracking Calvert-Lewin. Someone was making lunging tackles and then they were getting spun around and someone else was trying to cover for him, but then he was getting beat as well. So that was a mix-up in itself. And I'm so glad it didn't get a lot worse for us, because anything more than 3 goals, I think it would have been curtains for Big Ange. But yeah, Ben Davis starting yesterday, that was a big question mark for me. But otherwise, there was something good did come out of yesterday's result, whereby in that second half, Big Ange really had to go all in the sense that he had to throw on Richarlison and Mikey Moore, and in a way that did show him how he should go about maybe trying to salvage something from the rest of the season. But otherwise, I'm actually even struggling. I am properly struggling to tell you what Archie Gray was supposed to do. Honestly, was he a defensive midfielder? Was he a centre midfielder? Was he acting as the third centre back? I have absolutely no answer for that, Miss Kate. The only one who has any right to know what Archie Gray was supposed to do is probably only Big Ange. Maybe Archie Gray himself isn't really too sure what he was supposed to be doing, which might account for that own goal. But other than that, I think something needs to be done, and it should be done pretty soon, because we cannot carry on the way we are, Miss Kate.
Yeah, yep, I agree. I did. I don't know if anyone watched it this morning. If you didn't, please do go and check it out on YouTube or wherever it is. Mido was on TalkSports today, and he was amazing. He basically called out and said, "This isn't a football club anymore because the owners don't care about the football. They're only in it for the money." That he's a die-hard Spurs fan, and it breaks his heart to see how Tottenham have become this team. He was absolutely spot on, wasn't he, Jimbo? And it was nice to see an ex-player not suck up to the club and actually say this owner isn't good for this club. So if you didn't see Mido on TalkSport, do check it out. I'm sure I saw it earlier on the TalkSport YouTube channel, but he was absolutely spot on. And Jim and I will remember him fondly because we were at the game when Mido, or Mido, however you say it, made his debut. I always liked him. I thought he was brilliant. But yeah, it was excellent. Paige says, in a perfect world, Spurs get a manager with a backbone telling Levy, get your shit together and focus on football. Problem is, you'll be sacked on the spot. Yeah, I think Conte proved that. Mido's interview was, do you know what? It was brilliant. This as well. I didn't even know anything about this till this morning because I tried to stay away from a lot of the social media yesterday because it gets so depressing. But yeah, apparently, Chang, have you heard about this?
I have heard about it, and I have actually seen different camera angles taken by a few Korean fans or Asian fans, and it's not pretty, Miss Kate. I mean, you could mistake the abuse hurled his way to be maybe misdirected. Maybe it wasn't meant for him. Maybe it was for Big Ange. Maybe it was for the whole team or even a club. But regardless of whom the abuse was hurled at, I think there is absolutely no room in football or sports or anything for that matter for abuse to be thrown around. I mean, we just this goes back to mental health or mental well-being when it comes to us as fans trying to give it big, give it large to to whether the players or the management or even the coaching staff. Things like this, keep it up. You can write whatever you want in social media if it's not too derogatory or too too vile, but to actually be there spewing all that vile vitriol and hatred towards the fans, I mean towards the players, I think that is bang out of order. We have seen that not for the first time this season though, Miss Kate, when Big Ange himself was on the receiving end. I think it was after the Bournemouth defeat, and to see Son, if it really was him getting that, he must be asking himself, what have I done to deserve this after extending my contract when someone else, one of our own was twerking for Manchester City before he then got his wish and is now living life to the fullest in Bayern. But other than that, I mean, if I was Son's parent, put it this way, I would have just looked at him and be his dad and said, you know what, I told you so. I told you that this was coming, and this is exactly what was going to happen when things don't go the club's way. And this is the fan base. This is the fan base that you have to deal with. You have to live with it. And I really, really do hope deep down inside, Sonny doesn't take this too hard. But I think damage has been done, Miss Kate. That's all I will say about this. The damage has been done. Let's just hope it doesn't get even worse than what it currently is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's some truth. I don't think it was aimed at Sonic because there was fat CUNTs being thrown around amongst other things. So, but regardless, it's totally unacceptable. I mean, I just think it's appalling, and I agree with Paige. If you abuse your team, you don't deserve to be called a fan. I completely agree with that. I don't have anything against booing. If your team have been crap, I don't have anything against that. But abusing players, managers, honestly, it's not on. And as Chang said, it all comes down to mental health and things like that. And it's not good. There are videos of it on Twitter, and it's not nice. And especially a servant like Sonny, whether it was aimed at him or not, he obviously, you could see on his face he felt like he was being attacked as well. And it's just, yeah, it's not good. Jimbo, we've got Hoffenheim midweek. Are you feeling confident for that one?
I haven't even thought about them, Kate, because I haven't stopped thinking about it yesterday. I don't know, Kate. I don't know how they're doing. I don't know where they are in their league. I will have a look. I haven't got a clue at the minute, if you want to know the truth.
Chang looks down. He probably realised the FBI are closing in. Chang, what about you? I mean, I think we've got Hoffenheim Thursday, and then I think we've got Leicester at home on Sunday. Are you confident about either, both, neither? How are you feeling?
I'm still trying to stay positive, but honestly, I think Hoffenheim away is going to be a whole lot more difficult now when the players know that they absolutely have to get something out of that, even if it's just a draw. I mean, it's been bad enough. It really is bad enough that Hoffenheim themselves were at the receiving end of a home defeat by Bayern Munich. They were spanked 5-0 at home by Bayern Munich just a couple of days earlier, and I dread to even think what they must be planning for us to try and win back their own fans, which we ironically find ourselves trying to do just that much like them. So I think it's gonna be a case of whichever team wants it most. I really do hope it's us, because otherwise, it's gonna be it's gonna be very, very difficult for us. But yeah, thank you for correcting me there, Mr. Rinkatic, that Hoffenheim was spanked 5-0 away rather than at home. So I think, yeah, that might make it all the more worse when they try to make it up to their home fans this midweek. But otherwise, onwards and upwards, as I always say, there's always the next game, there's always the next week, the next season. And having said that, there's also always the next guest. Welcome,
Exactly.
Mr. Collison, right? You've arrived just on time for me to segue into, asking you of how you are feeling right now, going into
Am
our
I
midweek.
feeling? Are we talking about anything other than Tottenham? Yeah.
No, about Tottenham.
Let's just
Those
ask you
useless
how was your
waste
weekend?
of space.
How was your weekend?
Players, manager, board, fans, YouTubers, they're all pathetic. Wasteless space.
YouTubers?
Well, I thought, Kate, if I don't say everyone, someone will get offended, and then they go, "Oh, look at Barry. He said this. Oh, I'm going to cry about it." So I thought I'd just include everyone. How am I feeling?
How was your
Well, it's a
weekend?
shower of shit yesterday, wasn't it? So there's nothing else really apart from we can go into it. I think we're all a little bit upset, probably more because of the emotion of the game. I got more upset. I got more upset when Ange came out and started trying to be rude to the interviewer, saying, "Oh, it's not a very good start to an interview, is it?"
I know.
And I was like, "What?" And then Maddison going, "Oh, well, I'm sure the fans are upset." No, mate, we're happy with what's going on, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like we're on top of the world. So look, I think that kind of angered it. And then I watched it back. I don't know why I watched Match of the Day, because I normally don't watch Match of the Day. And I thought I watched it back, and I kind of just was laughing about it, because the thing for me yesterday is I don't think anyone knew where they were playing. Like at a point, I had to ask. Richarlison came on at half time, and I had to ask where he was playing. Archie Gray, I think, played in about 5 positions. No one knew where they were playing, so it was like comedy from start to finish. And in all honesty, the scoreline flattered us. And if Dominic Calvert-Lewin could have was actually I guess, well, if he was in the form that Isak's in, it'd have probably been 5 or 6-0 at half time. So
yeah,
look, it's not going to get any better. I've seen that the board have come out today and said that they're backing Ange, and they don't want to get rid of him. Well, if you're going to back him, then it's the 20th of January. So go and sign some players then, if that's what you want to do to back him. But I don't know. And I know Kate said this. I'm not sure I want them to go and spend money on him. I think the best thing to happen to Spurs is that we get relegated and then burn the place down and start again. I genuinely I know everyone's sitting there and saying, well, we're not going to get relegated. We probably aren't going to get relegated, but our points per game total now gets us to 41 points. Now, I'm still worried that 41 points is probably going to be enough, but if we carry on, this is Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? We sit here every week and we say, we'll probably go and spank Liverpool 4-0 in the second leg or something stupid. This is how ridiculous this football club is. So yeah, look, we got a few days. So will we sign anyone between now and Thursday? No. Will we go to Hoffenheim? I mean, I don't even know who's going to be playing for a start, because Kinski can't play. Forster's probably not fit. So what? Austin's going to be in goal. I just, do you know what I mean? Who's going to play in midfield? Who's going to play in defence? Because Dragusin, I don't know, is Dragusin concussed, or is it not concussed? Or
why can't the keeper play?
Because the squad's already been announced.
Yeah,
you can't just come in and play.
Yeah.
But
So
that won't count in the knockout stages if we do make it past. I'm sorry there.
there's no Reggie, there's no Spence, which made no sense of not playing Reggie and Spence yesterday. But I think it was harsh on Archie Gray. I thought Bergvall. Look, again, the kids are the ones that seem to be giving it their all, and the leaders, the Sonnies, the Madisons, and if anybody comes at me saying that Sonny is not done, I'm sorry. He is absolutely finished at this level. You saw what happened with that shot. That would have got been buried in the back of the net, or he'd have taken a touch. Confidence, tiredness, injuries, we can dress it up however we want, right? Unfortunately, yeah, exactly, Johnny. I think we'd all have a chance. We'd all want to give it our all. So look, we've got favourable fixtures, we say, but we said that when Everton, but Hoffenheim, Leicester, Elfsborg, right?
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't care if it comes off someone's backside, someone's willy, someone's tongue. We just need to score goals, and that's it. So we just need to get wins. So there you go.
Nick, if you was in charge right now, if you could make the decision, would you sack Ange now, or would you stay with him?
I don't think it matters if we sack him. If I'm honest. Like part of me wants us to, Sim's deluded. He's saying he's still like 6 out of 10 Ange in, but even Barnaby switched yesterday, right? And they're like, I'm still waiting for Mr. Peace and Love to come out. He's gone missing. So to see,
he's been on twice today.
Oh, has he? What saying to back him and the usual?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So look. If it was me and it was now, like I said, I don't think it makes a difference. But I can't be seeing what we were seeing yesterday. That was against a team that hadn't won since August, or hadn't, and Calvert-Lewin or something hadn't scored since August. I mean, everything's just you just knew it was going to happen. I mean, Coover was quids in because he bet on Calvert-Lewin to score first.
I said on Chris Cowling on Friday night, Calvert-Lewin will score, and he laughed. He went, "Don't say that." I said, "I'm telling you now, the bet of the day is for him to score and Everton to win." It was obvious.
And I think, look, the away fans were angry, and rightly so. I don't think it makes it. Like I said, I don't think it makes a difference whether it's him, whether it's Jim, whether it's UK, whether it's me, or whether it's Chang.
Look, Nick, it does make a difference. It does make a difference because if they sack him and bring someone in who can organise.
Yeah, you're right. I think the only thing it does is it galvanises us for this second leg, because that's the only chance we're getting into. That's the only chance we're getting into Europe. So whatever happens, we got 19 days before the second leg. That's the only benefit, right? I think you're right, Jim. That's the only benefit. But who would want to come to Spurs? And I know we say that. Who would want to come? I don't know. I don't know. But who knows anymore? I don't know. I don't know. I've seen it, and I guess I've seen it in terms of, we've all backed Ange at some point, and we've all gone off the train at some point because we've had enough. And I think when it was at the North London derby, Jimbo, and you put that super chat in, and when you see someone like Jimbo has had enough, then I think enough's enough, right?
Yeah.
Because Jimbo is like the most positive person, and he's seen it. I mean, he's been around the block. He is quite old. I'm saying it before. Hey, I'm saying it before you say it. And look, and Levy's got everyone where they want. He's got everyone arguing. He's got everyone saying they're right. He's got us season tickets. I know, someone said, "Oh, why don't you leave your seat empty?" Well, if I leave my seat empty for 3 games, I don't have a season ticket anymore. So they've got everyone by the ghoulies, let's just say. And yes, Joey Barton, I am gagging for it, to answer your question earlier.
Can I just ask, what did Stell say about me last night? Because I don't watch Stelios, so I don't know. But I'm interested to know what Stell said about me last night. So
it's easy to have a pop at someone when you're sitting behind a computer. So I wouldn't worry about it, Kate.
Well, and it's,
No,
and it's also easy to have a pop and stir in the chat, because it's what people want as well. Stirring in the chat with someone with a Soul Spurs legacy and a picture of Soul, and without their real name and without their thingy.
Yeah.
So if that is you, Elias, you're not funny, mate, and no one's going to bite to. I don't care what people say about me. If you want to go in between your chats and have your little things, we're not a school. And
yeah, so no, don't worry about it, Kate.
But don't worry about it, Kate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Easy
not
to talk
worried.
behind
I
a
was just
computer.
interested. I'm perfect, so I don't know how anyone can have a pop at me. They'd have to really struggle to find something, but you know, it is what it is. I'm the problem, it's me, and I will continue to hold this club back for the next 40 years. Chris Agenbar's in the house, big up to you. Nick, for me, I would sack him right this second. There's nothing. I've literally come to my breaking point, and that's it. I just said I don't even care if we win the Europa League. I don't want him at the club. The fact that we can keep putting in performances like this, we've got a good team there. Even with all them injuries, we had a team well capable of beating Everton yesterday.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, what really pissed me off was when he said, that's a great way to start an interview, mate. If you just saw the way the fans reacted to you and the players, yeah, and Sonny putting on his little crocodile tears. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, I'm so sorry I upset the fans. Well, show it on the pitch then, because you haven't shown it for 2 years plus at least. You've just done enough. Go out to Hoffenheim. Go out to Hoffenheim on Thursday. Go and smash them 4-0. Come home, beat Leicester 4-0. Go and beat Elfsborg 4-0, and let's get on a run going into the second leg. If you're that upset about it, and if any of you are watching, or anyone wants to send these overplayed prima donna players, go and show us that you care, because at the moment, you are not showing us anything. Yeah, you are not showing us anything on that pitch, apart from, I think that I'd have a go better than you guys on that pitch, you know, and Johnny and Jimbo and Chang and you, Kate, and Kuva. And
I don't know about me. I've got 2 dislocated kneecaps. I'm not sure I'd be able to do anything.
Well, it kind of worked for Ledley, right? So you know, you don't need to train, straight in, bang. So look, I think that's the thing, and what I think, and the thing I say about leaving, splitting everyone up. Some people want to protest. Some people don't believe in it. Some people is. Everyone believes so many different things that he knows it's never going to work. That's why I think, and we've been talking about this on the We Are Tottenham TV group. Let's just go. Let's just let the club be relegated. Let's just really go all out. If we're going to go about anything, let's just go. But do you know what? Even if this miracle happened and we did get relegated, right? Levy still benefits because he's got 3 years of parachute payments, so he's still benefiting from being relegated. So nothing is gonna stop him, right? Nothing is gonna stop him. So
if we get relegated, that kill Levy because you lose so much money.
It won't be, Jim, because we'll be on telly every week, because it'll be like Tottenham Oxford, Tottenham Wickham.
No, it would kill him. We wouldn't make the money we're making.
There'll be another 35 events on. It'll be perfect, because there'll be more time to put events on, Jimbo. This is what I mean. So anyway, let's not worry about.
I can't have that.
I know we can't have that, Jimbo. We can't have that. But genuinely, if we were sitting there the other week going, not us, Sim, I'll call him out. I don't care about calling Sim out, because we tried an intervention with him 3 times this week.
Lovely Sim.
Three times this week at 3 a.m. We were trying to have an intervention of him. We should have gone live, because it'd have made a great stream. But I just, we're 5 points away from 5th. We're like 6 points away from relegation now. Right?
Look, Paddy's spot on. Look. It's
exactly,
simple.
And that is true.
Back him or sack him.
Exactly. You need to back him or you need to sack him. And do you know what I really like? Is I don't think Paddy's allowed to use his Twitter at this moment in time. And this is quite funny, because I'm sure he wants to. So yeah.
I've just been sent the clip. Apparently, I was wrong to call out Ange, because apparently they've been calling him out for ages. But 2 things I'm going to say, and I'm not slowing myself to that level, but 2 things I'm going to say. The intelligence is watching what happens and changing your opinion on what you see. It's not about jumping to conclusions and making your mind up and saying, I'm sticking with that. It's about watching things change and then changing your mind based on what you see. Second of all, Stelios, I don't want to organise a protest for two reasons. Number one, I'm registered disabled and can't stand around protesting. Number two, I live in Lincolnshire, so I can't arrange protests to keep going backwards and forwards to London. But if you're going to call me out for not doing it, that's fine. But then at the same time, you arrange the protest. You don't go to the protest because the protesters don't like you. And the third thing is, after you've protested, you go into the stadium and spend money. That's all I'm going to say. If you've got something to say to me still, you're more than welcome to say it to my face, but don't call me out. That's just bollocks. But that's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah, you've been told.
Sorry to waylay the thing, but it really pisses me off when I get called out for shit. People don't know anything about me or anything about my personal life. He don't know I'm registered disabled. Probably no one in here knew that, but I am. But I don't brag about it and I don't tell people because it's my fucking life. But don't call me out on your fucking show because I said something that you don't like. Be a man. Don't be a little bitch hiding behind your keyboard. Be a man and get someone to say it to me and I will tell you the reason why. But anyway, moving on from that absolute twat over at Tottenham away, Manchester United seem to have hired their very own Ange Postecoglou, who has come out and said, this is my way of playing and I will not change. It sounds very much like deja vu, Chang. Do you not agree? I mean, for him to come out and say, I'm playing this way, I'm not going to change it, sounds a little bit familiar. I would be a little bit nervous if I was a Manchester United fan.
I mean, honestly, I think that is the only thing that is keeping them from, putting any sort of a daylight between themselves and us. And I hope long may that be the case. If we are to have any sort of hope to catch up to them, and overtake them in our bid to get to safety. But yeah, this is rather strange hearing from someone like Amarim, who has been, highly regarded as one of the better managers, one of the better young managers who knows how to balance between Europe and the domestic league. But to hear him saying that he only has one style or one approach to playing, that I think is going to be, it will come to bite him in the back, because those United fans, they are a lot less patient than us. And if you just only watch the YouTube videos, these watch-alongs, where so many of these YouTubers are saying that they were better off with Ten Hag than they are right now with Amarim. And I think until he actually does do something about it, I think it's only be a matter of time for him as well. Much like Big Ange, if either one of them don't change their ways too soon, hopefully it's going to be Big Ange first, who changes for the better compared to Amarim. And I wouldn't say that I'm actually enjoying this from United. I would never wish ill upon anyone. But if that is the one thing that we can take some sort of hope from, that we might actually be able to miraculously somehow overtake them and ensure our own safety first before them, then I'm all for it, Miss Kate.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Apparently, sorry, just moving back to Spurs briefly, Dane Scarlett has been recalled from his loan. It says he's returned to Tottenham Hotspur after the Premier League club recalled the England under-21 international from his loan at Oxford United. Chang, you look delighted about that. Are you pleased?
Okay, I will say this about our loanees. I was kind of surprised and somewhat let down by the fact that Dorrington was sent out on loan, knowing full well that we need every last player available to us before that season ends. So to have someone like Scarlett back will only do him a world of a good. Although this might not bode well for Yang Min-hyuk, whom again I was somewhat disappointed. He hasn't even made his debut yet, although I think it's a bit too early and a bit too much to ask from someone who's never ever played in Europe. much less the Premier League, to actually come on and affect proceedings if he did get his debut. But I really do hope that this will only mean that Dane Scarlett gets some minutes, however many he can muster, because looking at it, I think we have so many other players that we can readily recall and have them put in a shift for us. Not only just Dane Scarlett, Phillips is another one, the centre back who's away on loan, as is Alejo Valise. I mean, if you'd ask me right now, if I would choose between Dane Scarlett and Alejo Valise, I would take Alejo Valise, because then
Me too.
at least I know I am safe in the knowledge that Valise himself has scored in the Premier League for us last season away against Brighton, and he has been scoring as well in the La Liga, I believe. And he's the one player that might actually bring some sort of joy back to our other, South Americans. But otherwise, I think Dane Scarlett is going to have a tough job on his hands to even get some minutes, let alone be starting, Miss Kate. So let's just hope that the management, the coaching staff, and Big Ange know what they're doing by recalling Dane Scarlett.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Scarlett. I don't see anything there that really fills me with any sort of optimism. I'd much rather have Valise back. Jimbo, it's just come out that Dane Scarlett's been recalled back to Spurs. What's your thoughts? I think you'll kind of sit where I sit with it.
It's just until we've got our full squad back, I don't think I think we'll pick up points, but we're not gonna go on any sort of run, I don't think. So I don't think Dane Scarlett's gonna make
a
massive difference.
He's hardly someone you'd look at and go, "Oh wow, that makes me feel loads better. Now we've got a chance."
It's not like you're looking thinking, "Oh, we're bringing back someone like Salah,"
Yeah, this is true.
It's just another like above average player or average player. I don't know. I've not seen enough of him, but I just think that it's not. If we get a full squad back, it's possible we could go on a run, but at the minute, I just can't see it. We just need to pick up what points we can, just to get up there, and hope we pick up more points than the teams below us, which I think we will do.
Yeah. Jarula's saying she'd recall Solomon, who's been really good at Leeds. Look,
did we not sell him? Is he on loan?
I thought we sold him, but do you want to know the truth? I'm completely lost if we sold him or what. He was here and then he was gone, if that makes sense. But it's actually Phillips for me. I think we need defensive reinforcements, and yet we don't seem to be doing anything about it. It's very bizarre. But we all know Daniel Levy's at the helm, so we shouldn't be surprised.
No, there's people in the chat, Joey and Angus, saying he's on loan.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds like if we recall Scarlett, we won't do anything transfer window. What a disaster. Dane Scarlett, 4 goals in 22 games at Oxford. Wow. Big numbers there. Jimbo, question from Go on, Chang. Sorry, I'll let you speak, but you're on mute. You're on mute, Chang.
Okay, sorry about that as well. I'm very sorry to interrupt, but very quickly, you mentioned Solomon earlier. I believe that he did score the only goal and also the winner for Leeds United. I believe it was a Saturday game. So I'm glad that he's scoring. But I think it's going to take a lot more than just recalling players to actually get us out of this. I really was hoping that the recruitment would be able to pull off some early signings as they did 12 months earlier when we got both Dragushin and Bergvall in very early. Unfortunately, they have not been able to repeat that, but we still have another 10 days or so before the end of the window. Let's just hope for 1 or 2 incomings more so than outgoings. With that, back to you, Miss Kate.
Yeah, very much so. I agree. But Vindaloo had a question for you, Jimbo. What do you think that the team needs? New signings or a new manager if you had to pick one? Ooh,
well, I think I think it needs both, Vindaloo. But I mean, you can't say you can pick one because it don't work like that, does it? But I think this team could be organised better than it's being organised. I really do. I mean, we're just mere fans and mere people on YouTube, and we can see mistakes that are happening. You know, so. But I
Look,
think
there is a chance. Sorry, Jim. I was going to say there is a chance that if we bought some top quality, really good players and could work, there is always that chance. I just because
is
we
Levy
know
gonna,
that.
is Levy going to buy him, or is the?
But that's what I'm saying, because we know Levy won't do that. That's why I think Ange has to go, because it's got to be one or the other. And Levy's not going to go and buy world-class players. So Ange's system clearly doesn't work with what we've got. That's how I see it.
We see it's not only that, Kate. You've got to think, would the players come? You know, if I was a top player, I would look and I would think, do I want to go there? They're always in limbo, because we are. The last few years, all we've been in is in limbo. You know, we got to the Champions League final, which was an absolute miracle, really, when you think about it. And
It
you
really
watch what's
was.
happening now. I mean, Poch, I mean, how he ever got us there is a miracle when you look at it. So it's a team that's kind of always in limbo, like nearly does something, but never actually gets there.
Yeah.
You know, so the top players, will they come? You know, I think we could get a good. I think we could get a good, really good manager. I think a manager will come here.
I was just going to say, I think it's a fallacy that people say who's going to want to come to Spurs. We're still a massive club, and a manager knows if they can come and nick a trophy, they're going to go down in Tottenham history.
Yeah, that's the thing is managers think they're always going to be the one that can do it.
Yeah, and we pay managers really good. We're one of the highest. We're one of the teams that pay the highest wages for managers. We just don't pay it for players, which is quite ironic. I've ended the poll just because I'm going to end it or I'll forget. And 67% are Ange out and 33% are still Ange in. Obviously, we've got some neutrals, or not neutrals, rivals, should we say, in the chat, who are all going to say they're Ange in. But yeah, so 67% are Ange out. That's the biggest Ange out we've ever had in here. Arsenal, Jimbo, went 2-0 up against Aston Villa at the weekend and did what Arsenal tend to do. And their little bumholes went and they bottled it and ended up drawing 2-2.
But it didn't surprise me at all, Kate, because Villa are good at giving teams the lead, then coming back. You know, when it was 2-0, I said to you, we was watching it. It wouldn't surprise me if they end up drawing or losing this. You know, and they're good at losing the lead, Arsenal, and Aston Villa are good at coming back.
Yeah.
And Villa go behind quite often, but come back. So it didn't surprise me, but it's just Arsenal, isn't it? I mean, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be feeling like I feel now. You know, we're the nearly club. You know, nearly get somewhere, but never actually get there.
No, I mean, Martin Keown was on Talk Sports Day boasting that his clubs regularly come second. And Simon Jordan said to him, well, that's fine. If you're happy to be first loser, then that's fine. I mean, you've got to be in a title race to win it, but surely you must look at that, Matt, and go, shit, not again. Because, you know, you had such a good opportunity there. You're sitting 2-0 up, sitting comfortably, and to crumble and go 2-2. Then Liverpool, obviously, they left it late, but won. It's now 6 points, the difference. Have Liverpool got a game in hand? Does anyone know? Or are they level on games now?
No, they've got a game in hand.
Have they? So potentially 9 points behind Liverpool. That means you've got to win 3 and then lose 3. That is a massive gap. Chang, Man City absolutely smashed Ipswich. I think, was it 6-0? I think it ended up.
Yes, correct. It was 6-0 away.
6-0 away. Is there any chance, I don't know if this is a ridiculous question, is there any chance City put on an unbelievable run and go on and win the league, do you think? Or are they completely out of it?
It will take a very, 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 ludicrous chain of events to even have them back in the reckoning, because we're actually level on points with fifth place Newcastle United, and they are 12 points adrift of Liverpool with one game more.
Yep.
So I think, yeah, that is going to be a very big ask of them. And I think this Ipswich game is merely a sort of bubble in their otherwise very, very patchy form. Because if you look at the games that they have, I wouldn't say they threw the points away, but drawing against Brentford, I think it was just less than a week ago, and then they drew against Everton, the team that just beat us. They drew Everton at home on Boxing Day, and there were a few other matches. I think they even lost to Villa. They actually lost to Villa at Villa Park prior to the draw at home against Everton. So the form doesn't look good for Manchester City, and I honestly would not read too much into this one 6-0 win away at Ipswich. I mean, you only have to look at us, Miss Kate. You only have to look at us and our 5-0 win away against Southampton to see where I'm going with this.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I think you've got to be kind of brave to say there's absolutely no chance that City could do a run and get up there. But I do think that it's a little bit too hard from this year.
It's not what City do. It's what Liverpool do. City can go on a run, and we know that. But are Liverpool going to drop 12 points? Very unlikely, Kate. Very unlikely.
I mean, and to be fair, you've got to rely on Arsenal falling off and moving along to Nottingham Forest, who are absolutely flying. They're level on points now with Arsenal in the table. I mean, what an incredible achievement for Nuno, Jimbo. Nottingham Forest in the title race? Because if we're saying Arsenal are, then surely we've got to say Nottingham Forest
in the title race. When we was up there, I said we were in a title race. Of course we was. I said Villa were in a title race. They was up there as well, and Forest are in a title race all the time. They're up there and winning games, and taking points. They've took 4 points off Liverpool this season.
Mm-hmm.
All the time they're doing that. You've got to say they're in a title race.
Yeah.
Look at Angus. Look at Angus. No, they ain't. Stop it.
Angus, just let Jim let the Arsenal fans keep talking, mate.
If they ain't stop it, then Arsenal aren't. So we'll stop saying about Arsenal in the title race. If they're on level points with you, they're in a title race.
Exactly. I don't understand how anyone can say they're not, especially Arsenal fans, because they're all declaring that they are. So they're on the same points. I mean, they're literally on exactly the same points.
Arsenal, Forest are on the same points that Leicester were on when Leicester won the Premier League.
Correct. That is correct. I heard that. So
same games, same points, everything. And if I'm honest, okay, Liverpool battered Brentford and they got there in the end, but they haven't been playing that great the last few weeks. And if you look at what happened that season with Leicester, look, I'm not saying for one moment that the same thing is going to happen, but you never know, right? If Forest carry on, they've lost 4 games all season, right? And they are playing. I mean, okay, they kind of got over the line a little bit yesterday, but they're winning games. They're doing what needs to be done. It's incredible. Liverpool have Champions League, Arsenal have Champions League. Forest don't have anything.
Exactly.
So, they have to be in that conversation. And I'm sorry, we've just seen, with Manchester City, the Manchester City look like they're the Manchester City now, end of January, where they're just going to blow teams away. And
I just said that, Nick. Do you think there's a chance they could still win the league?
12 points behind Liverpool. You never know.
And a game more as well.
They got to play Liverpool. Arsenal got to play Liverpool. Look, we saw Bournemouth go to St James's Park and put 4 past them. I said the other day, I wouldn't put it past Arsenal now going up there and winning, and us winning. It'd be a North London derby final in the Carabao Cup. You can never tell. You can never tell what happens, and that's that's why it's exciting. I mean, Chelsea were, they haven't won in 6 games, and they were blowing teams away. So and Newcastle won 9 in a row before they lost. So the only consistent teams at the moment, well, Forest are the most informed team in the last 6.
It's amazing.
So they can't not be in the conversation. Forest fans will say no. Arsenal fans will say we're not in a title race because we always bottle it, and then cry about handballs and VAR decisions and everything else, right? But realistically, 2-0 up at home, you shouldn't be losing a game of football there, regardless of what happened with the handball that wasn't a handball, that looked like a handball that probably was a handball, or some stupid law that says it was a handball. And and you look at Bournemouth in 7th. They haven't lost in 6 games, and who's to say that they wouldn't go and do Liverpool over this weekend or whenever they're playing them next? I think it's this weekend.
Pages put amazing for Forest. They've got to fall off at some point.
That's what we said about Leicester.
Like every single week, I said to Kate about Leicester, they will fall off. They will fall off. Yeah, and they did fall off. They fall off the top. They fell off and won the fucking league.
Question: will Spurs get the 40 points to stay up? Asked by 2 separate gooners. Look, I'm not even worried about going down. We ain't going to get relegated. I don't know what points tally we'll end up with, but we ain't going to go down.
Currently, it'll be 40. It says 41.4 points. Obviously, we can't have 0.4 points. It's 41 points on the current points per game ratio. I don't know what the official term is for that, but yeah, points per game. We're at 41 points. Before the weekend it was 43. So I think we all sit there and we're all laughing about it, saying we're not going to get relegated, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. But if Leicester can win a Premier League, Tottenham can get relegated, right? So
yeah, it could happen.
I think the good thing is that Leicester and Southampton are pretty much those two are finished, right?
Yeah.
If there was another spot in there, and well, I guess it depends, right? If Leicester beat us at the weekend, then it could be a conversation. They go on a run, right? But I don't know. You got to think Everton have got a game in hand, but that's the Merseyside derby. But if they play like that, they'll beat Liverpool the way Liverpool are playing at the moment. Then it's down to 1 point. Wolves, they went on a back-to-back win and then kind of stuttered. Look, we should be all right, but I think we should not have any arrogance to sit there and go, we're not getting relegated. How dare you talk about us? How dare you speak about your club in that way? That's the arrogance. That's the same arrogance of us going, we should be winning trophies, So let's just.
Well, I think it'd be the bottom 3 to go down, Nick. The ones that are there now.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, Jimbo. I'd like I said, I'd like Ipswich to stay up because I think they've played some. They've started. They didn't change what they were doing. It was Man City. They were like, well, there's no point changing because it's Man City. Yeah, I'm gonna have to support Galatasaray now, by the sounds of it, because Kyle Walker is coming in to replace Emerson Royale, and Galatasaray have now approached Milan. So,
wow,
yeah, I'm gonna have to support another team again. Follow my boy.
Yeah, Saliba apparently could be out.
Between us and Ipswich,
could be out for up to 8 weeks. I know too good to go down is a myth. I agree with you, but what I mean is
a myth. But what you got to look at,
worse than us.
Yeah, you got to look at what you got to look at it. That we're 8 points in front of the relegation, right, and on the same games. So we've got to lose 3 games more than them 3 at the bottom. I can't see that happening. I just can't see it happening. If we was on the same points as them, I would turn around and say to you, "There's a massive chance we could go down." Right?
But Jim, we were saying this weeks ago, we were 5 points off the top 4. Now we're 8 points off the relegation zone.
Yeah, and what have the bottom 3 won in the same time as us?
Wolves have won 2 games and drawn, and Ipswich have won and drawn. That's it.
Yeah,
2 games.
I I have to say, Joey's asking who's worse than us. Southampton, Leicester are definitely worse than us. I know we didn't beat them, but I think Wolves depends on what day. If you're talking on our best day and their best day, we're better than all the teams below us. But at the minute, we're absolutely dog shit. This is
With
why
an
I can't
8-point
understand
gap,
why
Kate,
This
it
is why I
won't
can't
happen.
understand why Angie's still in a job. I can't understand it. I look at the managers that have been sacked before him for less. I don't understand how this guy is still in a job.
But you've got to look
Last-
at it, right? You've got to look at them three at the bottom, right? I'm not going to include Wolves in there, but the three at the bottom have got to get from now to the end of the season 9 points. One of them's got to get 9 points more than us. I can't see that happening. Not saying it can't happen, but I can't see it happening.
There's 16 games left, right?
Yeah.
So there's 48 points available. Ipswich probably need 30 points to get to 4. No, they don't need 30 points. My math's terrible. They need, let's say, 20 points, 21 points. So 7 wins out of 16.
Yeah.
I'd take 7 wins out of 16 at this point.
So would I.
But this is the interesting fact, right? The interesting fact of the games. We all know what February brings us. February probably brings us more misery with the second leg and the FA Cup and everything else, right? The 12th of April till the end of the season, Wolves away, Forest home, Liverpool away, West Ham away, Palace at home, Villa away, Brighton at home. If we are anywhere near that relegation zone with 7 games to go and this manager is still here, then I would actually put a bet on us getting relegated. Because we won't win it. We looking at it, look, we should have some players back, right? But you've seen what we've done today. We've recalled Dane Scarlett.
Yeah.
Like, again, never had an opportunity under this manager or other managers. And now all of a sudden, this is what we're doing. Rather than, all right, you could sit there and say, well, do you want to go and get a striker? Well, actually, yes, because we spent 130 million or 120 million on 2 strikers and they're both crap or they're both injured or whatever you want to say, you know? So we're gonna rely on our front line on Dane Scarlett, who scored 4 goals in 22 games in the championship for Oxford. It's mad, right? It's crazy. But I just think if he's not being sacked by now, he's staying till the second leg. There's no other explanation about it, right? Surely he's staying.
Well, there's something going on. And then you've got the question of if we win a cup, does that save his job? I mean, I just don't. I'm at a loss. I don't know where to go, what to say, what to think.
At least with Amorim, he came out and said this is the worst Man United side ever.
Yeah.
Have you seen what Ronnie's put about Scarlett? Spurs have recalled Dane Scarlett, but told plan is to send him elsewhere on loan.
But I don't understand because he's playing games. So it's not like he's not playing games, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he started the last few because obviously Laura's parents are season ticket holders at Oxford. So there's a bit of, obviously a bit more kind of having a look than you would normally do if some players gone out on loan. I don't even think Vicario, Romero, Van der Ven coming back makes a difference to this team because I think it's just broken. I would more like, do you know what I'd more like to see if Vicario when Vicario's fit and he comes back in, I'd like to see Kinski in midfield. I'd rather see him in midfield than Maddison, Sarr, and Basuma because at least he knows that. At least he can spray balls. I just think, you know, and how Spursy would it be? I mean, look, we should beat Hoffenheim, we should beat Leicester, we should beat Elfsborg. I think that will keep a bit of pressure, and you know that'll probably get him to the second leg, and then we'll probably go and do something Spursy, like I said, and beat Liverpool because no one can, you know, and then lose to Villa, and then beat Man United, and then lose to Ipswich away, and you know the win lose again. I mean, how long's that been going on for? It's just. I mean, obviously we haven't won, so not for a while. But I just I don't know when is the time, but I think if we don't win on Thursday, I don't see how anyone can sit there and say that he should be in charge for the Leicester game.
No. I've got a question here.
Harry
Would you
Winks and
rather...
Ollie Skip are going to come back and have a masterclass as well.
You just know it. Would you rather win a cup and get relegated or stay up and not win a cup? I'd rather stay up and not win a cup. Me. I don't want to get relegated for nothing. I don't know about anyone else.
Well, we're used to that year after year, aren't we? Staying up and not winning a cup. So
I'd rather get relegated and win a cup.
No, you wouldn't, Nick.
You wouldn't, Nick.
No, I would. It's banter. It's like Emerson Royale bantering us. You know, we'd be like the Wigan, win the FA Cup and get relegated. How funny would that be? The only time we'd win a cup is and then get relegated. So even when we win something, we're still getting bantered for winning something because this is Spurs. Like how I was looking there, looking at my phone, going, "Here we go." I just, Laura was like, "I hope Tottenham win today." I said, "They're not going to win," and she goes, "Yeah, but I hope they win because you're horrible when they lose." And I said, "I don't care anymore." I said, "I'm horrible if we lose, and I'm horrible if we win. Do you not know me?"
Yeah.
And she just saw it at the end, and she was just like, "I'm sorry." And I said, "You don't need to be sorry." I said, I don't need your pity. I brought this up myself with my choice of this football club.
I agree with what Koo says. I'd take relegation if it meant the end of Daniel Levy and Enoch. I agree. What about you, Chang? Winning a cup but getting relegated or staying up and winning nothing?
There's a catch-22 to this, I'm sure. Winning a cup and getting relegated. Okay, I'll try to make this easy on myself. If we had to win a cup, and if it means getting relegated in order to win a cup, the only cup I can see worth winning and getting relegated for is the Champions League. That is the only cup that I would take if it means us getting relegated. But with the catch that we must get promoted the following season.
Yeah. Big up to
win the Champions League, get relegated, but we get promoted the next season. But
yeah, I hear you, Chang. I hear you. On your boat, Scott, big up to you with Super Chat said, "What's going on with Sonny? I think he needs to be dropped. What do you think?" Chang, I'm going to come back to you and ask you your opinion on this one because Sonny was, he weren't great, was he?
Look, honestly, I really thought that he would have put that chance away that he had in the first half. That was presented to him on a plate, and I think that was the best chance he had to scoring 2-2 in 2 league games against Everton and Woolwich. But he didn't take the chance, and not only did he not take that chance, he then went completely missing that for the remainder of the game, which is why I actually was a bit hesitant. I think I did say this to you yesterday on the pre-match pump up, and I think it was Senor Garcia who corrected me, saying that Son had his best game with us earlier this season against Everton at home when he did what he did back then. But I was still so hesitant with the idea of having Son, as our centre forward. I also did mention that he might get out muscled and he might get bullied if he is going to be playing up top by himself. And sadly, that I think that came to pass. That was exactly the case, and now we are regretting. Each and every single one of us here are regretting, saying that it should have been Richarlison starting at centre forward. But as for Son, I have honestly no answer for him apart from maybe it's time for him to consider being a bit part player coming off the bench, and if that's the only thing that will even get whatever we can salvage from this season and a half left with him and his contract. If that is the case, then so be it. But before we do that, before we actually consign him to the bench, I think it is high time we actually found his replacement that is ready to go, not another teenager that is a new Son in the making.
Yeah, I agree. Jimbo, we don't like to say it, but Sonny was diabolical at times yesterday. But then, as Ronnie says, keep hearing about Son. What the hell did Maddison do?
Yeah, you can look. He's exactly right. We can go on about Song, but we can go on about a lot of other players as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, at the minute, it's just not. It's not happening at Tottenham, is it? So let's not just dig out Son, who's been absolutely immense for us over the years and given us a lot of pleasure. You know, so I'm not going to dig him out, not at all, because he has been. He's a legend of this club. And I don't care he hasn't won nothing. For me, he's a legend of the club. He's up there. So let's not dig him out because we could dig a lot of players out if we're going to start digging people out.
Big up, Scott, though. Thank you very much for the super
Thank you,
chat.
Scott, very much.
Big up, Johnny Bethnal Green. See you later, my lovely. Say hello to the missus. As far as the scores on the doors go, obviously we've got the Chelsea Wolves game tonight, but Jimbo, myself and Chang are all sat on 4 points, whilst Nick is sat on 5. It's been a bit of a disaster class all round for us this week. Pretty poor. So it all rests on the Chelsea game where Jimbo and Chang have gone for 2-1 Chelsea. I've gone 3-1 Chelsea, and Nick's gone for a Chelsea draw, 1-1. So one of us could pick up 3 points, or we could.
Come on, last week that Man United right at the end got me out of a hole and got me 3 points. So
who's done what, Kate?
Me, I've done 3-1. You and Chang have done 2-1 to Chelsea, and Nick has done 1-1 Chelsea Wolves.
Who Chelsea got?
Wolves. So it's make or break. Because Nick is already, I think you're 3 points in front. Yeah, 147. Chang's on 144. I'm 135. You're 111, Jim. So
that was a 6-pointer.
Still plenty of time. There's loads of time to go, Kate.
There is. Of course, there is. Plenty of time.
Yeah, that 30 point.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Oh, he's back.
30 point gap's going to be 6.
Jim, stop it. To be honest, Jim, if you just back Tottenham to lose every game for the rest of the season, you'll probably catch up.
No, he won't do it. Some things, Jim, are more important. FPL, I don't know. I've got Kulu in, and that's it. And everyone goes, "Oh, why have you not got any Tottenham players in?" Well, I'm not putting any defenders in because I ain't going to get any points because they're going to get battered. We're going to concede a load of goals. We can't score goals, so I might as well get the points from other teams, you know?
Yeah, but you would have probably got some points with Spence, wouldn't you?
No.
He's been playing well, Spence.
Kulu has been the only one that, and I had Sonny at the start, and then I was like, nah, this is not worth it. I don't think I've got Arsenal players in. That's the only rule. That's the only rule. I think I did have Gabriel in at the start, and I was like, what am I doing? Let's have a look. Who have I got in my team?
I could probably never win because I will never, ever, ever do Tottenham to lose, ever.
For me, Gabriel is a far superior defender to Saliba. I'm just going to put that out there. I think he's been immense compared to Saliba, but
chips in with goals as well.
Yeah, chips in with lots of goals. I forgot to say on your bike, Scott, you're also now in the draw to win the signed Bentancur picture. Because of the super chat. So thank you very much. Look, I'm going to leave it there. My head is literally pounding because Tottenham just drive me to distraction. And I got really cross with Stell and all that business as well. So I don't do angry. And when I'm angry, my head just goes tight. So it is what it is. I need to eat something before I explode. Nick, are you on any streams this week? Are you free Friday? Are you coming on, or are you?
Yeah, I'll be free Friday. I'll be a bit tired because me and Iggy are doing the watch along for Hoffenheim.
Oh, nice bit of name drop in there.
Well, I don't need to do it. And also, what is
that on?
And also, for all those people sitting there telling me to stop shouting, I'll do what the fuck I like, mate. If I'm commentating, I'm shouting. I'll do what I like. If I want to turn up late, I'll turn up late. If I want to shout on a stream, I'll shout on stream, yeah? If you don't want to watch it, what do you want me to do? As the North London derby, of course I'm going to be shouting. Of course I'm going to get there. But I think my expression when that second goal went in just kind of summed it up. I was just literally looking through the TV.
You're like, I thought you'd frozen.
Well, I suppose. What can I say? At least someone didn't say, "Oh, is Barry dead?" So yes, I'm not doing. I might. What are we? Wednesday brewing bollocks. I don't know what Bobby K and Coover are doing. They make it up as they go along. So we might be doing a bit of brewing. Might be a 3 days brewing bollocks Wednesday. Watch along Thursday. Come and predict with you guys before the weekend. But maybe the manager will still be here, so it won't make a difference. So.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Exactly.
Oh well, Jimbo, we know our club, and it'll be. What's it going to be? Ryan Mason before the weekend.
You know what? You know what? If the losses keep coming, he won't be here, and they keep coming. They haven't stopped, have they? So if he loses Thursday,
yeah.
Mr. Chang, what have you got? Anything planned?
Assuming that we have another pre-match pump up lineup for Hoffenheim.
Yep.
And I'm part of the roster. I would very much like to be back for my personal 9th consecutive pre-match pump up over on Via Tottenham TV, on top of our regular show at noon on Friday. I have a Premier League fan zone appearance over on Sky in an hour's time, from between 2:30 to 3:30. So that's where I'll be in the next hour or so before midnight here in Southeast Asia. And I am actually honestly dreading to go on any other show right now because of just the uncertainty of whatever's going to be thrown my way. I mean, this is all very friendly, all very well understood between all of us. But going on Sky, going on Premier League Fan Zone, that's going to be tough. But I will try my best not to not to embarrass myself and our fan base any further. But
Hang on, I need to ask you something.
Go ahead.
When we first met you, you was this guy that was adamant about going to bed 9:30.
That is correct.
And what's happened?
Spurs happened, or rather, YouTube happened. Spurs YouTube happened, and
Dan's too famous now. He's like he'll be here in like 30 years. Going, I'm on my 485th consecutive pre-match pump up. Kate and Jim, there'll be like an ode to them, because it'll be like 500 years time. We'll all be dead, and Chang will still be there, the youngest looking old guy. Like, okay, guys, it's the same thing. The same thing's happened. We haven't won a trophy. Levy's not spent any money. We're going to get rid of the manager. It'll be the same thing. And he goes, but guys, 476 next week, pre-match pump up in a row. I love you, Chang.
The feeling is mutual, Mr. Collison, right? But yeah, honestly, I mean, I am rather thankful that I have been able to manage my time. But if and when things become a bit too hectic for me, my health and my family will always take priority over anything else, because when all is said and done, this is all for the fans. This is all just our worship for the club, and frankly, it is becoming rather stressful. Although my love for the club has not diminished even the least bit, despite everything we've gone through. But yeah, it is getting on my nerves, to be honest with you. But onwards and upwards, as I always say, and I will look forward to seeing both you, Miss Kate and Mr. Boxell, for the pre-match pump up for Hoffenheim, if you're going to be up for it.
I was saying to Joey, we won't be on emergency streams. We're having a party, mate. That's what we'll be doing. I was
going to say, if Ange Postecoglou is announced as going tomorrow, I will be streaming, and there will be cheering and possibly drinking. But I am on the terrace.
No, Kate. We know what happens when you drink. It's like you not only you're a terrible drunk, and Jim doesn't want that. He's told you that, yeah. We don't want tears. We don't want any of this. Jim can't handle this, Kate.
Jim, you're muted.
I got videos, Nick. Believe me.
Jim, we've got videos as well.
But I've got videos that you haven't seen.
And I'm a bastard as well. So she turns evil when she's had a drink, people. So don't believe all this facade. Oh, it's nice. Oh, I'm so nice. You wait till she's had a drink inside her. You don't know what's coming, people. Jim is ready. As soon as TalkSport or The Sun or whatever, Jimbo's on the phone, he's going to sell her out. Believe me. He's going to make some money out of it.
Those videos are awful. I'm just going to put it out there. Mr. Chang's had to jump off. He's got a call with Sky for the fan thingy. I'm on the terrace tonight at 5. Jimbo, when are you next on?
When you tell me.
Well, we may be doing one tomorrow if he's gone.
I don't think. I think if he loses Thursday, I think he'd definitely be gone.
Yeah, we will have to wait and see.
Do you not find it very strange, though? Right? Do you not find it very strange that the board have come out and said they're going to back him and not sack him, and they haven't never done that before, have they? I can't think of when they've done that before, and I've been supporting this club well over 50 years.
Yeah,
and I just find it very strange. Maybe it's. I mean, what's it? What would they have to pay him? Something like 10, 15 million when they sack him.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's on 5 million a year, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, be about 12. Be around about 12 million, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that means that means we won't sign anyone until 2027 then, because we still have we paid off Mourinho yet?
Don't. Jimbo, I'm going to let you finish the show as only you can. I need to eat and I need to lay down. I think my head's banging with all this talk.
Oi, Jimbo, she wants to lay down.
You sounded like Smithy then from Gavin and Stacey. Yeah, come on, Jimbo. Try and bring some positivity.
Well, let's go into Thursday and try and be a bit lively and hope we win, or if you want to edge out, hope we lose. I don't know how to finish it with the shambles we've had. Look, we still got to back them, and we still got to hope we win in Europe because we want to go further. But if you want to be honest, as much as I love to be so positive, I'm not very positive about Thursday. But let's hope we go and smash Hoffenheim.
Any come on you Spurs?
Come on you fucking Spurs.
Giving opinions with no regret, smashing the top bins like in the onion net. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim, and walking the walk, just listen in. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mix and transfer news, it's what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin, while Kate's Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like Lenny stop robbing, or she's just flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match.